right, we will begin standing tonight, a little bit different from normal. And I was just saying, we'll do some sun salutations and then some standing postures, which is often how we warm up in, hi Cindy, in Ashtanga. And then with whatever time is left, we'll head down to the mat and maybe do some Pilates and do some stretching. So a little bit different format. And also I was thinking of maybe doing a headstand today. So if you know you need something to help you with that, you could go ahead and get that now, because we'll kind of move into it from one of the standing postures. All right, that's it. Blocks are always helpful, so if you want a couple of blocks, they're good for lunges, they're good for twists, they're just helpful to have around. You never know when you're going to need them. And that's it. Come on to the top of your mat. So standing with your feet right underneath your hips, a little bit wider than like feet right together, mostly for stability's sake. So go ahead and separate just under your hips. Roll those shoulders down and back. You can turn your palms forward. That will help open up your chest and shoulders. I'm just going to turn towards you. And if you're able and feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. So we quite often start sitting for very good reason, because I want you to take a moment to relax and to check in with yourself. But there's a value sometimes I find to doing this standing. It's just different. So as always, if you want to take a deep inhale and let it go, exhale it out. That sometimes helps release. I might even encourage you, inhale and bring your shoulders up to your ears, and then exhale and release your shoulders down. Think about lengthening through your spinal column, pulling that chin towards your chest. Shoulders are down and back, shoulder blades in their back pockets. Rib cage sort of drawing in. It's as if you're zipping up your ribs, so we're not puffing out through our chest and our ribs right now. Drawing that in towards your center line. A little bit of engagement here in your abdominals to support that low spine, so belly button is pulling in. So it's like if you have a belt around you and you tighten that belt, and then just loosen it up a little bit. You don't want to feel constricted. You want to make sure you can still breathe, but some engagement. Gluteal muscles and quadricep muscles are contracted to support you. And make sure as you stand here, you don't lock your knees. That's a good way to make yourself feel faint. And in general, we don't want to lock out our knees. So a little bit of a soft bend. And now that you're standing here in this very active position, so hopefully you're relaxed, but at the same time there's engagement, there's awareness, and begin to observe the breath. Drawing it in through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Become aware of your body connecting to the earth. Feeling your feet rooted, grounding you. And feel that same lightness as if something is gently drawing you up by the crown of your head, so there's a lifting just as you're rooted. And see if you can begin to regulate that breathing, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Each inhale about the same length of time. Each exhale even longer than the inhale. Perhaps setting an intention for your practice today. Perhaps dedicating your practice. Take an inhale, extending the arms upwards. Press the palms together. Exhale, bringing your hands to heart center. From here, just flutter open your eyelids. Bring your hands to your shoulders and roll the shoulders forwards. I can see someone else has joined me on Cindy, but their name isn't there. So if that's you, Joelle, hi. I don't know who else it is. And roll the shoulders backwards, but whoever you are, welcome. I just can't see the box. Good. Inhale up again. And hands to heart center. So we're going to do a series of sun salutations to begin. And the first round is going to be slow motion. I like to do it slowly for people who are new, but also for people who have been doing hundreds and hundreds of these. It's actually can be more challenging than doing it quick. And it gives you that time to find your alignment in each of the postures that make up the Surya Namaskar, so that when you do flow through it, hopefully you find those alignments more easily. So whenever you're ready, on your next inhale, extending those arms upwards and a slight back bend here. So you're lifting, drawing hands up, shoulders down and back, squeezing the glutes to press the hip forward and slightly opening towards the ceiling. You can make this as deep or as more vertical as you prefer. As you exhale, hinge from the hips, reach, 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 like you're trying to reach something in front of you, in front of you, in front of you, and then when you absolutely can't anymore, go ahead and hang down. And let gravity do some work here. Your knees can be softly bent. Don't overstretch your hamstrings when we're cold like this. Little bend of the knees, maybe bend one knee and bend the other knee to kind of work it out. These first two sun salutations will sort of serve as our warm-up stretch. So go ahead and use them to loosen up your body. Shaking it out. Now bend the knees really deeply so that your hands can find the mat. This is another opportunity. You might want blocks, so you can place blocks and put your hands on the blocks so that you can step back into your low lunge and be in alignment here. So knee is over ankle, press back through that right heel. You should be able to see in front of you, keeping your head in alignment. And if not, that's when you would want to grab blocks. If your knee is not over your ankle, if your foot's back here, just scooch your foot forward. It's an easy adjustment. Taking inhale and exhale. Stepping back to plank, I'm going to show the modified version of this first time around, but feel free to do this from toes if you want. Modified will drop down to knees, and then everyone go ahead and lower all the way down to the mat as slowly as you can, coming all the way down. Extend the legs behind you, press into the hands, squeeze the elbows by the rib cage, and press up to a baby cobra. Holding here, taking a couple of breaths. It can be really, really low, or it can be deeper. It's up to you. Inhale and exhale. And then releasing that, curl the toes under, push yourself up through plank, back to your first downward facing dog. Bending one knee, bending the other knee, pressing opposite heel into the mat, stretching out those hamstrings. And then eventually working both heels towards the mat, press into the palms. Remember, always rolling the shoulders away from the ears so that you're not putting undue pressure on your rotator cuffs. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Extend the right leg overhead, pushing that right heel away. Flexing the foot so it's like you're trying to kick back to that back wall behind you. Feeling an extra stretch in your left hamstring. And then swing that foot forward, plant it down, finding long lunge on, or low lunge on this side. So again, not everybody can get their foot there in one step. That's fine. Just wiggle it forward. So knee is over ankle. Taking a couple of breaths here. Starting to let those muscles warm up and release. And then step the left foot forward, hanging over. Bringing the hands to the shins, straightening the legs, slide halfway up, kind of finding Ardha Uttanasana. We didn't do this on the way down. Shoulders pulling down and back, belly button drawing in. Straight legs now on the hamstrings. You're looking on the floor just in front of you so your head's in alignment. And then forward fold again, all the way down, Uttanasana. And then inhale, pressing all the way up, flat back, extend up, opening towards the ceiling. And then the next time you exhale, bring hands to heart center and back to one. Samastiti. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, extending up, opening chest and shoulders, pulling shoulder blades down the back, pressing the hips forward, squeezing the glutes. Inhaling, expanding the rib cage. Next time you exhale, hinge from the hips, reaching forward, forward, forward until you hang all the way down, letting it go. Letting the knees be soft here, shaking it out. Maybe swaying from side to side, whatever feels good on your back right now. This time we will do Ardha Uttanasana, so slide the hands halfway up the shins, not putting them on the knees, coming to that flat back position. Imagine pulling your shirt away from your upper back to flatten out that upper back. What I usually see is rounded backs here. So we're not in a cat position. You want an extended spine. And then forward fold again, all the way down. Bend the knees so the hands can find the mat. Step the left foot back. coming to runner's lunge. Again, hands on 2 blocks would help lift you up and lengthen your spine if it's too much to reach the floor here. Pushing through the back heel, beginning to stretch through those muscles. And then stepping back to plank. Same option. Those of you more advanced, feel free to stay here on your toes, totally fine. More modified, we're going to drop down to our knees. Everyone's going to lower all the way down, chest, chin, and hips into the mat. Release the legs behind you. And then inhale, pressing up once again to cobra. So yours doesn't have to be as deep as mine. I don't like to see elbows up and shoulders by the ears. This is not a good look. Instead, lower yourself down. It depends on your spinal mobility more than anything else, and I happen to have a pretty deep curve in my lumbar spine. Release that to the mat, curl the toes under, push up through plank, and back to downward facing dog. Again, if you want to jog through, bending one knee, bending the other knee, see how you're starting to feel. Once again, nod your head yes, shake your head no. Extend the left leg overhead, pushing the left heel away. Taking a breath. And then swing that foot all the way forward, coming to runner's lunge. Again, just wiggle the foot forward if it didn't quite make it. Pressing through the back heel. Holding for a couple of breaths. And then step the right foot forward, forward fold. If you want, straightening the legs here this time to give yourself a bit more of a hamstring stretch. And then when you're ready, sliding halfway up, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana, forward fold, Uttanasana, and then inhale, pressing all the way up, opening towards the ceiling, Samastiti. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing now, but normal pace. So the idea is one movement, one breath. So you can move slower or faster than me. It's totally fine. I will just be cueing breath and movement. Inhale, extending up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands find the mat. Inhale, step the right foot back, followed by the left foot. Exhale to the mat, or those of you more advanced, chaturanga, and then this time coming to your up dog if you wish. Pressing back, downward facing dog. Inhale, extend the right leg up. Let's do one hinge forward, coming out over hands, and then kick back up. And then this time step the right foot forward, followed by the left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands back to one. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Step the left foot back, followed by the right. Modify, drop to your knees, otherwise stay here, lower all the way to the mat, or chaturanga, up to cobra or up dog. Exhale, press back to down dog. Holding here for a breath or two. And then the left leg extends up, swings forward, plants down, followed by the right. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, sliding all the way up. And exhale. Oh, I forgot the one hinge forward on that one. No, we'll get it this time. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Step the right foot back, followed by left. Plank, dropping to knees or not. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Exhale, press back to down dog. If you struggle doing chaturanga from toes, I really encourage you to stay on your knees and work on it from there. And just go all the way to the mat. Up dog is much more advanced, so beginners, stick with cobra, please. Extend the right leg up, we'll hinge forward. Hopefully I remember it on the left. And extend up. And right foot forward. Let's plant there just for 1 minute. I want to get one twist in here. So turn to your right, left hand stays on the mat, right arm extends up. Holding. Start warming up that spine and bring that hand to the mat. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, rising all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Last time like this. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale. Exhale, release. Stepping the left foot back, followed by the right. Your option for your vinyasa. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Exhale, press back, down dog. Full disclosure, we'll have a lot of vinyasas today. So at any point you can just skip that part and go straight to down dog if your arms and shoulders are done for. Extend your left leg up. Hinge forward once, out over the hands. Kick back up. Step that left foot all the way forward. Again, a twist, so keep the right hand planted. Turning to the left, looking up towards the ceiling. Hand finds the mat. Step the right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, coming all the way up. And Samastiti. All right, Surya Namaskar B. Why do I always get so crooked, y'all? Surya Namaskar B starts in Utkatasana, and then we have, we add something in the middle. Let's leave it at that. When you're ready, inhale, Utkatasana. Hands extended, arms extended, more advanced. Hands at heart center is going to take some of that pressure off the back. So remember, in Utkatasana, we're pushing the hips back, so knees are over ankles, not out here over our toes. Trying not to stick out the bottom, but pull that pelvis under so the spine is long. You're gazing right in front of you, and only if you feel like you can, extend the arms. I'd rather you focus on protecting your knees and your back and worry less about the arms. And then forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. So here's the option that you can do power and jump back 2 feet, or step one followed by the other. Your option. So if you're stepping back, it's right foot followed by left. If you're hopping, you hop back to plank. Everyone working on your version of vinyasa, working your way to your downward facing dog. Pressing heels towards the mat. I want you to open up your feet for a moment here. Mat's distance apart. Keep the right hand in the mat. Reach your left hand back to your calf, your ankle, or even just the mat. Just try not to grab your knee. Just another twist here. The one thing about the fundamentals in Ashtanga is it does not do twists, and I want to make sure we get some twists in. Place that hand down, grab the left calf with the right hand, twisting that direction. Taking a couple of breaths. And place that hand back, step the feet back together. We're going to come to high lunge. So right leg extends up. Swings forward, plants, rising straight up, hands at heart center or arms extended. The left foot is pointing forward still. Heel is lifted. You can go as deep as you want into that front knee. Inhale, exhale, hands find the mat. Step the right foot back, vinyasa. Rising up to your cobra or up dog, pressing back to down dog. Holding here for a moment. Left leg swings up. Plants forward, high lunge on this side, rising up. Pushing through that back right heel, lengthening that leg. Again, hands could always stay at the heart. They do not need to rise. Exhale, hands find the mat. Step the left foot back, vinyasa. Working your way back to your down dog. Holding here for about 3 breaths. If you want to practice the Ujjayi breath, which is classic in Ashtanga, you inhale through your nose, and then as you exhale through your nose, it passes over your glottal stop in the back of your throat. So there's a little bit of a slowing down and a little bit of a vocalization. It's called Ujjayi pranayama. Bending the knees, you're either hopping forward or stepping right foot followed by left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising back into chair. Holding, inhale. Exhale, check your alignment in your chair. Next time you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Stepping left foot back or hopping 2 feet back, working through vinyasa. Finding your way to your downward facing dog. Make sure you're rolling shoulders away from the ears each time, slight bend in the elbows. Don't worry about touching your chest towards your legs. This time extend the right leg up, swing it forward, plant it, rising up to warrior one. So the back foot pivots and we rise up. So hips are facing forward, front knee is bent, but for most of us it's not as bent as it was in our lunge. Hands at heart center, or once again, arms can extend. You can start to open the gaze and the chest towards the ceiling to open up into a back bend if you're more advanced. Really pushing into the back pinky toe to protect the knee. And exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot back. Chaturanga. Remember, you can skip this and just go to the down dog if your arms are tired. Left leg extends up, swings forward, plants, pivoting the right foot, rising up. Warrior one on this side. Again, headlights are forward. They want to open. Pull them forward. Inhale and exhale. And forward fold, hands find the mat, step the left foot back, chaturanga, cobra up dog to down dog. 3 to 5 breaths here. Catch your breath, long deep breaths. Remember, at any point if you need a break when we're in down dog, go ahead and take child's pose. I can't even see you, so just do you if you need to. Bending the knees, stepping left foot forward, followed by right, or hopping 2 feet forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise up into chair. Option to come up on your toes or on the balls of your feet in your chair. Can you drop a little lower? Can you lift the chest a little higher? This is also called lightning bolt pose, which you can see why we kind of look like lightning bolts. And then press up on your tippy toes, rising up, stretching, stretching, stretching. Lower the heels, bring the hands to heart center. So we're gonna do those last 2 one more time. We're just gonna hold the lunge and the warrior ones for 1 breath. So it's a quick in, quick out, okay? Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, stepping right foot back or hopping 2 feet back, plank. Work your way through your vinyasa, cobra up dog to your down dog or straight to down dog. Right leg swings up, swings forward, plants, rising up on your high lunge on the inhale. Exhale, hands back to the mat, right foot back, vinyasa. Moving straight onto the left side, left leg swings up, plants forward, high lunge, rising up on the inhale. Exhale, hands find the mat. Vinyasa, working your way back to your downward facing dog. From here, pausing, taking 3 to 5 breaths. Bending the knees, stepping right foot forward, followed by left, or hopping 2 feet forward, top of the mat. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Rising up into Utkatasana. Holding here. Can you sink a little lower? Push the hips back, knees over ankles. Next time you exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, head to knees. Stepping left foot back, followed by right, or hopping back. Vinyasa. Coming to down dog. Right leg swings up, swings forward, plants, rising up into warrior one, 1 breath. Exhale, hands find the mat. Right foot steps back, vinyasa. Back to down dog. Once you get there, go right to the other side. Left leg swings up. Back foot plants, rising up on the inhale. Hands find the mat. Step the left foot back, chaturanga. Working your way back to your downward facing dog. And then holding down dog or taking a break in child's pose for about 3 to 5 breaths. If you're breathing faster, if you're out of breath, it will probably be more than 5 breaths. See if you can slow the breath. One trick is to exhale slowly through your lips to help slow your breathing. And then bending your knees, stepping left foot forward, followed by right, or hopping 2 feet forward. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Rising into chair with hands at heart center. Coming to our Parvita Utkatasana, our chair twist. So with this one, it's really important that you get as low as you can in the bend in your knees. What's more important here is the twist of your spine, not binding your elbow against your thigh. So I don't want you to have to bend over, okay? So stay lifted through your chest. Turn to either side. I'm bringing left elbow towards right thigh, and it can just come here on top of your thigh. Those of you who've been doing this a while want to go deeper, you can bind. But notice that my chest is still looking at you guys. You should not be facing the floor. What tends to happen is your knees will shift. So notice if they've done that. See if you can bring them back to parallel. And then bring yourself back to center. Chest is lifted, sitting nice and low. Turning to the other side. So elbow on top of thigh is all you need to do. See if you can get that top shoulder towards the sky. If you can sink lower, but make sure you're still twisting, not bending. Hands at heart center. They love to walk up to the armpit. Check that your knees are parallel. And then bring yourself back to center. Forward fold, straighten the legs. Grab hold of your big toes with your peace fingers. Let your head release. Pull the crown of your head downwards, straight legs. Or working towards straightening your legs. If your knees are bent because you have tight hamstrings, totally fine. And then release that. Bend your knees if they're not already. Drop your hips and roll yourself all the way up. Inhale, extend the arms upwards, slight back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. From here, we're going to step back into warrior one, bending the front knee, extending the back leg, and then transition it to warrior two. So opening up here. So check that your knee is over your ankle. You can go quite deep here, but your body is over your hips. You're really vertical, gazing out towards the front of your mat. Holding here, taking an inhale and an exhale. So we're going to hold each posture for about 3 to 5 breaths. Ish. Which should feel pretty challenging, frankly. Good, go ahead and extend that leg, turn the feet parallel, forward fold, letting the head go. And just let the arms release this time. We'll come to this posture a number of times, making it a little bit deeper each time. Try to be square in your feet. So if you're like me and you tend to roll inwards, pronation I think. Maybe it's pronation whether it's inward or outwards. Either way, check that you're not rolling. Press your feet in all 4 corners. Bend the knees, roll yourself up. We're going to transition to warrior two on this side. So the back foot turns, the front foot turns towards the front of the mat. We bend into it. Check that you're not leaning out over those toes. You can peek down, still see your toes in front of you. Chest is open, hips are open, shoulder blades are pulling together. Gazing out over the front of your hand. Inhaling and exhaling. Warrior, strong, powerful warrior woman. Transitioning to warrior one on this side. So the body turns, the back foot might need to adjust. Chest and hips are forward. We have a new front of the mat. Here's where the optional vinyasas come in. If you just want to skip it and just come to the top of the mat, fine. Otherwise, you find the mat, step the right foot back. One vinyasa, so chaturanga, chair cobra or up dog, pressing back, coming to down dog. Pausing here for about 3 to 5 breaths. So this is considered a recovery position, but clearly it's not easy, so you can always skip it and just stand, or you could come to child's pose. And then stepping right foot forward, followed by left, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Again, stepping the left foot back, we're going to come to triangle. So I did that a little bit too much. Not a giant of a step back. Opening up chest and shoulders. So left foot is at an angle, or the back foot, whichever that is. Right foot is towards the front of the mat. Body is rotated forward. Arms are extended. We're going to hinge, 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 reaching forward as much as we possibly can. Then let that right hand come down. Ideally, it actually would come to a block. Turning it, well, ideally it doesn't come to anything, you just use your core strength. But rather than putting your hand on your shin or putting your hand on the floor, which is really far away, bring your hand to a block. Turn your head, look up towards that extended hand. As always, an alternative is to bring the hand behind the back to support the neck. So this is a core move, so make sure you're engaging here through your abdominals. See if your ribs are in a long line. These upper ribs right by your armpit will tend to arch out, so see if you can pull that in. And press yourself up. Pivoting to the other side, if you use the block, just pivot with you. So the toes go to the front of the mat, back foot at a little bit of an angle or perpendicular, and we hinge, hinge, hinge forward, coming down to the mat, looking up. So again, the block is a modification, but it's quite a good modification because it protects your knees so you're not pushing there. And coming to the floor, for most of us, puts us out of alignment here. So you work with the block until you can work without anything. And this arm is just loosey-goosey. Inhale, exhale. And pressing yourself all the way up. Pivoting to the front of the mat, Vinyasa. Hands find the mat. Step the left foot back. Chaturanga. Inhale up to Cobra. Exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. Rolling shoulders away from the ears. Taking a few breaths. And when you're next ready, inhale, step the left foot forward, followed by right. Flat back lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands find heart center. Stepping right foot back, warrior one. Transitioning to warrior two. Transitioning to side angle bend, and we're going to hold side angle bend. So remember, your options here are forearm on the thigh is going to be your more modified version. If you've got a nice deep bend and you want to work your hand down towards a block, fine, but notice my chest is still open towards you. And if you want, you can reach that all the way down to the floor. Anyone who wants to bind, you can certainly bind. Shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked is what we're going for. That bottom hand can be pressing against the inner thigh, or you can put it on the other side of your foot and your knee can press against your shoulder. Either way, you're working to open up the inner thighs. Pressing yourself up, once again, facing forward, feet go parallel. Hinging forward, this time clasping hands behind your back. Reach them up overhead, let the arms drop towards the mat so you're giving yourself a shoulder stretch. Don't bounce or push, just let gravity just gently pull down. Inhale and exhale. Next time you inhale, pull the arms back to raise you all the way up. Pivoting to the other side. So we'll just go to warrior two. Find your warrior two. Bring the right arm across the right thigh, or whichever leg you're on. Rotating, make sure you find this version first, and then if you want, you can bring your hand to a block or to the floor, but again, the most important thing is that your chest is open, you're not twisting and contorting your body. For me, alignment is more important. There's no such thing as like achieving a pose. I give you the final version sometimes to show you, and you're working towards that, but it's all about alignment for me. So you don't hurt yourself, and so you give yourself the best benefit. Inhaling and exhaling. Make sure you get a deep bend in the front knee. From here, just cartwheel that back hand down to the floor, working through your vinyasa. As always, feeling free to skip it, because we did a lot of them. Still a couple more to come. Holding here, taking a few breaths in and out. And when you're ready, stepping the right foot forward, followed by left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. This time we're going to come to a high lunge twist. So we will step our left foot back, coming to high lunge. Nice deep bend. And then you're going to bring this left elbow, again, to the top of the thigh or binding all the way against the thigh. Hands staying at heart center, turning and looking up towards the ceiling. Alternative here is to bend the back knee and let it find the mat. And if you wanted, you could bring the left hand to the floor and extend the right arm. Sometimes that helps find stability. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and bring the hands together if you've separated them, rising back up to your lunge, pivoting forward, forward fold again. This time grabbing hold of toes or ankles to pull the crown of your head towards the mat, walking your feet out a little bit more if you want to allow the crown of the head to come closer and closer to the mat. Bringing the hands to the mat, pressing up, flat back here. So hands on the mat, or you can bring hands to your hips. That will engage your core more. Looking at the mat in front of you. And then pressing yourself all the way up. Pivoting towards your new front of the mat, coming to high lunge. Pressing back through that back heel. Turning the, for me it's right elbow on left knee. You might be the opposite, but remember you're twisting. Keeping the hands at heart center as you sink low and try to bind that elbow against the thigh. Turning and looking up towards the top shoulder. Dropping the back knee to the mat. This is what it looks like if you modify it. Totally fine. And then another option is to find the floor and extend the top arm. It's not easier or harder, it's just a different version. Find a steady breath. Bring the hands back to the heart if you separated them, rising back up to your lunge. And then hands find the mat, step the left foot back, working your way through Vinyasa. Once you come to down dog or child's pose or all fours, hold there for a few breaths. And then when you're ready, stepping left foot forward, followed by right, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, hands to heart center. This will be our last one, and this will be where I said we put our headstand in the middle for those of you who want to. Okay, so we're going to come to both Parvita Trikonasana and pyramid. So step the right foot back, but it's not a giant step back. You're either on railroad tracks, all toes facing forward, or you've got a slight pivot to your back foot. Blocks are super, super handy here for our Parvita Trikonasana. It's going to go by your front little toe. Hips are forward. Square your chest and your hips forward, legs are straight, really tall. Bring that left hand, the same hand as the front foot. If it's not left, it's just the front foot, to your hip. Extend the opposite arm up. We hinge from the waist, from the hips, leaning, reaching forward, reaching that hand forward, coming to parallel, and then bring that hand across and find the block. And then if you need to, you can lower it down to whatever level is appropriate, maybe the floor. I have really long arms and I don't even put on the floor. And then turn towards that side, bringing the top shoulder up as much as you can, opening the chest, and then if you want, extend the arm, but this is a challenge because of balance, so don't feel like you need to. If you've extended the arm, go ahead and bring it back to the waist. Rotate yourself back, press yourself up, and then we're going to go right to pyramid. So bringing the hands behind the back. Full version is hands here in reverse prayer, but otherwise you can just bring hands fist to fist or hands to hips. Same idea, but we're just going to hinge forward, forward, forward as much as you can. Keeping a long flat back, pressing both heels into the mat. Probably what happened here is your right hip started rotating back and up. or your back, whichever one is your back leg. So try to bring that one forward, pull your front hip back. That will square them. Inhale and exhale. Next time you inhale, press up. We're going to go right to the other side, keeping the hands right where they are. Pivot around to the opposite side. We're going to do pyramid first on this side. The hands are still in reverse prayer. We're going to hinge forward, straight legs. Again, make sure you're pulling the front hip back, the back hip forward to keep them square. See if you can flatten out the top of your back. Again, it's not an arched cat position, it's an elongated spine. And your gaze should be somewhere in front of your toes on the floor. If you're higher up, if you're here, then your gaze is in front of you further to keep that neck in alignment. Next time you inhale, pressing up, bringing the right hand or whichever one is the front foot to the waist. Opposite hand extends, coming to Parivrtta Trikonasana, revolve triangle. So we're going to hinge forward, reaching, 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 and then reach across. Again, ideally you find a block. Hand comes to the block, picking your level. And then turning towards that side, shoulder goes towards the ceiling. And if you're stable, extending the top arm. This is considered a balancing pose, so if you're wobbling, that's normal. If your arm extended, go ahead and bring it back. Revolve yourself back. Bring your hand to your waist and press yourself up. I'm just going to turn around really quickly. I'm just going to switch feet, but you don't move. All right, now turn towards front. I did this intentionally. I realize my back is to you. But I did it so eventually my front would be to you. So feet are separated. Feet are parallel. And we're going to hinge forward from here and release down. Okay, so this is what I promised you. I realize this is not my best angle, but you can see my face. So we're going to go into a headstand from here. So this is a more advanced way to do it. You do not need to do it. You can skip it altogether. The more you separate your legs, the closer you can bring your head to the mat. Some of you are going to be like, my head is never going to reach the mat. That's okay. You can also bend your knees. So bend your knees, see if your crown of your head can find your mat, and bring your hands into that triangle position. So they're just behind your head on either side. Now you're actually in a pretty good position. Those of you who want to work here in tripod, you could come to your tripod. Those of you who are a little bit more advanced in your headstands and you want to come all the way up, it's a more challenging way of getting into your headstand. I'm not sure I've ever done it while talking, so we'll see. We lift the legs up and we bring them together. And we try not to crash into the photos behind us. So you could be in tripod here. You could say, I don't want to do any of these things, and you could just be hanging out on the mat. You could still be just hanging over, head between your legs. Those are all appropriate. So to come out of it, we attempt to open our legs, and with some level of control, bring ourselves back down and forward fold. Excellent. Pivot back towards whatever is your front of the mat. Step back, work your way through a vinyasa, but this time we're all going to come to child's pose. A well-deserved child's pose. Bring the arms down by your side, turn your palms up. Take some nice deep breaths. Really bring your knees together and tuck your head as close to your knees as you can to release your neck. Breathe into your back. And then when you're ready, roll yourself up. Nice and slow. Whew. I don't know about y'all. I'm hot. All right. So that was a variation. I mean, Ashtanga is one of the practices that is more regimented. It's like you do this posture, this posture, this posture. I don't stick to it exactly, but that was kind of what is considered the Ashtanga fundamentals, and then from there you begin your practice. That's like the warm-up. That was what my second training was in, and I don't actually love it as a practice, but it's a very efficient way of getting a lot of standing postures and holding them and kind of working on our alignment. So every once in a while, I like to do it. All right, extend your legs in front of you, flex your feet, sitting up nice and tall. Just going to stretch out, take an inhale, exhale, fold, letting it go, letting the back go. Taking some deep breaths. And bring yourself up. And we didn't do any pure balancing poses, but all of that in your feet involves balance. So bend your knees, extend your arms, sitting up tall. Alternative options to grab the back of your thighs at any point here. We're going to do a few things. So we're going to hinge back, back, back until you can't hinge back anymore, and then hold it. So you know, because your abs are engaged, but your chest is still lifted, and your feet are like delicately hovering above the mat, and you're not collapsed. If you're collapsed, I'd rather you grab your thighs and pull yourself up. Holding and breathing. And pull yourself back up. And again, come back, hinging back. Extend your arms up overhead. And then scissor the arms. We're inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Chest is lifted, belly button in. Arms extend. And pull yourself up. And hinge back. Lift one leg up. Lower it down and lift. So you're just bringing knee to knee. Chest is lifted, and if this is too much, you can just stay hinging back. You could keep the knee bent. That would make it a little bit easier. 3, 2, and 1. Place that foot on the floor. Extend the other leg, lower and lift. Notice my upper body is stable, not moving. Just the lower body. Just doing double duty. Some stretching, plus some ab work. 3, 2, and 1. Plant that foot down. Pull yourself up. And again, hinge back. I gotta turn towards you because I'm gonna hit the wall. Open the arms out. Squeeze them together. Open out and squeeze. And it's like you're pushing, like you're pushing weight here. So it's just not like flappy, flowy. No spaghetti arms. 3, 2, last one. Turn the palms down and pump those arms. Chest is still lifted. Belly is still in. I want you to see that I'm not cheating. Gaze is forward, chin towards chest. So this is like a weirdly modified version of the hundreds. I don't know what this is. It's not anything. All right, option to come to bent knee. So Ardha Navasana, half boat, variation of half boat. Why am I crooked? I'm like shifting to one side. And then option to come to full Navasana, boat pose, extending those legs, chest lifted, belly in. If your abs have had it, just keep your feet on the floor. And anyone who wants to do a teaser, I'm just jumping right to full teaser. So super advanced move. Only if you're advanced, you need to do this. We're going to lower all the way down and then come all the way back up to where we just were. Teaser, one more time. Lowering all the way down and back up to teaser. And now everybody come on down to the mat. Stretch your arms above, legs below. Wow, that was like a killer 2 minutes of abs. My abs are feeling that. Reach away. I didn't do any other exercise today, so it wasn't that. I was going to go for a bike ride, but the rain kept me from doing so. Bring your palms to the mat, bend your knees, Press up into a shoulder bridge to stretch out those abs. Inhale, exhale. Lowering down, grab your knees, give yourself a hug and a rock. Side to side. And you're done. Extend your legs. If you need to do anything else, we did a bunch of twists, but we didn't end with a twist, so if you need to do a twist, if you didn't do a headstand and you want to do an inversion right now, you can do that. When you have done what you need to do, find yourself in savasana. Palms up, chin towards chest, legs separated, arms turned away, separated from the body. Roll those shoulders down into the mat. Close your eyes. And this is another good moment if you want. Take a deep inhale and blow it slowly out through your lips. If you like that, you can do it again. And then just allow yourself to relax. Every inhale, drawing in relaxation. Every exhale, letting go of stress and tension. If any thoughts come into your mind, just exhale, let them go. As you breathe, allow your heart rate to slow. Allow your breath to become more even. Imagine you can watch your breath as you draw it in, bringing oxygen to all cells, all parts of your body, rejuvenating your muscles, refreshing your organs, recharging your whole system. All you have to do is breathe in and breathe out. And allow that breath to begin to deepen. Taking deep belly breaths. As you inhale, feeling your ribs expand, feeling your belly expand. As you slowly exhale, feeling them each release. And then begin to allow that energy to reawaken you. Wiggling fingers and wiggling toes. Rolling wrists and rolling ankles. Rolling your head from side to side. And when you're ready, drawing both knees into your chest. Maybe pausing there, giving yourself a hug. Maybe you need to rock and massage your back. And then allow yourself to fall to whichever side is more comfortable. And when you're ready, press yourself up, finding a comfortable seat. Allow your hands to rest gently in your lap. Chest is lifted. Eyes closed. Chin parallel to the floor. Allow yourself to reconnect with the breath. Gentle inhale. Slow exhale. Take a moment to take stock. Notice your body. Notice your sense of being right now. Just pass a glance as if you're looking down upon yourself without judgment. Just noticing every part of your body. Your little toe, your left elbow, your right earlobe. We'll take 3 deep inhales through the nose. We're going to exhale through the mouth, and we're going to move our arms. So as you inhale, the arms extend out as if you're pressing a ball of energy together. They reach up, 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 pressing the palms together. Opening the mouth, exhale as you bring the hands down to heart center. And again, swooping them out as you inhale. Drawing that ball of energy, squeezing it between your palms. Exhale, deliver it to your heart. One last time, inhale. Exhale. Hands at heart center. Light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti Om. Namaste.